Hello everyone. Today I'm going to explain a movie called Alita, Battle Angel, which was released in 2019. So, let's get to it. Hope you guys will enjoy it. At the beginning of the film, this is 300 years after the end of World War I. It signifies that a world war erupted in the last 300 years, which results in the destruction of the entire world. There's a spaceship there that's packed with people from all around the globe. And it was known that the inhabitants of that spacecraft dumped their trash on Earth. One day, a scientist finds a robot in the trash. It wasn't just any robot, but one like this. It's a hybrid of human and machine. That scientist lifts the robot and carries it to his house. And he does an excellent job of repairing that robot. With it, he constructs a new body. The next day, that robot, who was a female, awakens. And obtaining a new body was exciting. The female robot then asks the scientist, "Who am I? How did I end up here? Where did I come from?" The scientist is completely oblivious to her origins. As a result, the doctor does not say anything about it. However, the doctor just states, "When we found you in the rubbish, half of your body had been injured. Your mind, on the other hand, was in good shape. Following that, we repaired your body. It signifies that we have given you a new human body." After that, the doctor shows it to the rest of the world. When she sees this metropolis, that female robot gets excited. A view of the spacecraft is also shown. She has a question for the scientist: "What is it, exactly? Is this a real-life scenario?" According to the doctor, it was the only city standing after World War II. Sky City is its name. Sky City is a wonderful place to live. There is a strong desire for everyone to visit there. Because the upper class lives there, while the lower class lives here. The doctor then gives the robot a name. "From now on, your name will be Alita," he continues. Hearing its name, Alita is thrilled. All residents of Earth serve Sky City, the doctor also says Alita. Because there are so many farms, industries, and factories in Sky City. Following that, Alita meets a young man named Hugo. Hugo notices Alita's figure and compliments her. Because it had a robotic body that was sufficiently powerful. Alita and Hugo get along swimmingly. A girl is slain in that city on the same night. In fact, there was a serial killer in that city who used to kidnap and murder young women. He used to sell their body parts after that. Alita witnesses a doctor on the same night. Guy was on his way back from somewhere. Alita notices that the scientist's hands are stained with blood. Given this, it is unlikely that the doctor is the perpetrator of the city's recent murders. The scientist's wife shows up the next day to meet him. They were separated because they were divorced. It is stated here that the Alita adjusted human body, it is, in fact, his daughter's body. His daughter was no longer alive, thus her body was donated to Alita. Hugo then invites Alita to play along with him. And this was a popular game in the city. While playing this game flawlessly, Alita amazes others. That game is also won by Alita. Later, Hugo takes Alita to his favorite spot. It was a building's roof from which the entire city could be seen. From this vantage point, Sky City appeared to be getting closer. A large pipe is also present. According to Hugo, this conduit transports all objects from Sky City to Earth. "I'm fighting tooth and nail to get to the Sky City. Remember, I'll get there eventually." Alita inquires, "How does this Sky City appear to you?" Hugo replies to it, "In fact, the doctor had found you in the trash. That waste came from the Sky City. It signifies you've arrived from Sky City." But Alita has no recollection of the incident. She had also forgotten about her past. She had, in fact, lost her memory. The doctor leaves the residence the next day. And he's being pursued by Alita. Alita realizes that the doctor is not a murderer. However, he is a hunter-warrior. Criminals are hunted down by hunter-warriors. The killers' bodies are then taken to the factory afterwards. In their place, a sizable incentive is given. Here, Alita is aware of the doctor's reality. At the same time, the serial killer is making his way towards them. He was the same city-dwelling assassin who was putting the females to death. Then Alita approaches the assailant. It beats loudly enough for him to flee. While Alita is successful in killing the other assailant. The doctor and Alita then proceed to the factory, where they take the killer's head. They are given a monetary award of $20 in place of that head. After that, the doctor tells Alita his story. How did he come to be known as a hunter-warrior? And why did it happen in the first place? "It is the story of that time," he says. "When my wife, daughter, and I shared a home. They built a robot one day. And that robot came into their home and kidnapped their daughter. That doctor had had enough of that robot after this episode. And the doctor's own robot was harmed. After that, the doctor was dubbed Hunter Warrior. Then a man named Vector appears on the scene. In actuality, Vector was the race game's leader. This game used to be organized by Vector. With Vector is also the doctor's wife. The doctor's wife is revealed to be playing a joke on Vector in this scene. Because Vector promised it to her. He'll transport her to the Sky City. As a result, the doctor's wife is also a doctor who works for Vector. The same robot is afterwards seen to have been spoiled by Aletta. That robot will now move to Vector. It informs him that my body distortion is caused by Aletta. Vector sneers at the robot, commenting, "Have you returned after being beaten by a small child?" Robot reveals that she is not a tiny girl, but rather the most powerful. "Vector," the robot says. "It is now your mission you must present Aletta to me once it has been damaged." After that, Hugo takes Aletta to see the race. He also informs Aletta that the game's winner would be taken to Sky City. Aletta is excited when she hears it. Following that, Hugo brings Aletta to see a ship. He explains, it is the ship of the opponents, working from 300 years ago. When Aletta looks at that ship, she is enthralled. As a result, Aletta makes her way to the ship and leaps into the water. In the ship, Aletta also discovers a high-tech body. Aletta goes back to the doctor and takes the body. He tells the doctor to replace this body with it. It implies, modify this body with my head. The doctor, on the other hand, refuses to carry it out. If this body is fixed to you, you will become extremely dangerous. It's far too dangerous. That you will murder people and wreak havoc on the world. When confronted with this rejection, Aletta becomes combative. Aletta then proceeds to the factory. Going there, it decides that it will now be known as Hunter Warrior. It joins Hugo at a nightclub. There were all of the city's hunters present. And that makes everyone uncomfortable. That we should get rid of the Vector robot. Because the same assassin is responsible for the deaths of the entire city. It's also killing off other folks. One of the hunters makes a fool of Aletta. He claims that because he is small, he will not be able to kill someone. And how did you end up as a hunter warrior? When Aletta hears that, she punches him up while being confrontational enough. And he's on his backside. All hunters are stunned after witnessing it. In the meantime, Vector's robot appears. Which had now grown in size. Because it had been updated by the doctor's wife. As he approaches, the robot attacks Aletta. Aletta responds by attacking it. And to save his life, that robot enters a tunnel. Then, while chasing him, Aletta moves to that underground location as well. Both of them are engaged in a fierce battle. Finally, that robot ruins Aletta. It also dismembers its own body. Hugo and the doctor arrive at the same time. They confronted the robot and defeated it. They also set fire to its body. After that, the robot runs in order to save its life. Aletta's wounded body is brought home by the doctor. Aletta's body was completely destroyed. That doctor heals that body with Aletta since he has no other choice. He'd discovered it from the ship. When Aletta wakes up the next morning, it feels at ease now that it has a new body. It was powerful and well equipped. And the fire can be produced by that body as well. Aletta is ecstatic to have this new physique. Aletta will meet Hugo the next day to demonstrate its robotic body. Hugo enjoys and feels comfortable about its equipped body. He is astounded as well. Hugo tells Aletta that he wants to visit Sky City soon. However, in order to get there, everyone requires a score. And you can get these scores by murdering someone or winning a race game. When Aletta hears it, it hands over its robotic heart to Hugo, who pulls it out. "Take my robotic heart," it says. "It must be sold. You will receive some points in this manner. Then you may visit Sky City." And Aletta's robotic heart isn't your typical one. It does, however, have a lot of power. And that artificial heart is as powerful as any human heart. This robotic heart may provide electricity to this metropolis for several months. Because there are energetic beams in this robotic heart. However, Hugo bans Aletta from removing her robotic heart. He declares, "I don't require it. You are free to retain it in your possession. Because your artificial heart is absolutely essential." He advises, "You should be in the race game. Because I believe you have a good chance of winning the race. If you win the game, we'll both move to Sky City." Aletta agrees as soon as she hears it. And she prepares to participate in the game. Because of her feelings for Hugo, she wanted to carry it out for him. After that, Vector appears and hires the hunters and killers to put an end to Aletta. "In case you kill Aletta in the race," he says to everyone, "then I'll give you a score of 5 million. It is necessary to visit Sky City." The hunter is then spotted. Who had been beaten by Aletta in the club? And he intended Aletta to pay him back for his humiliation. He was now going to exact his vengeance on Hugo. He accuses Hugo of killing a man. Now Hugo was being accused of killing someone. As a result, he began to become a criminal. On the other hand, Aletta appears. Who had entered the race that was about to begin? All of the race's killers become Aletta's foes. As a result, they attack Aletta. Aletta, on the other hand, was on par with them. As a result, she continues to murder them one by one. Then Aletta gets a call from Hugo. He informs me that the hunter has become my adversary. He also wants to put an end to my life. Then Aletta leaves the race to rescue Hugo. When Aletta arrives, she severely beats the hunter. While news spreads throughout the city that Hugo has turned criminal. He was likewise on the run. As the capturer, you will be rewarded with $30. The city police then arrive to put an end to Hugo. Because everyone agreed on the fact that, because Hugo is a criminal, it is critical to put an end to him. So everyone tells Aletta to put Hugo to death. However, he is not killed by Aletta. The hunter, on the other hand, ends Hugo by assaulting her with a sword. And it's here that Hugo is taking his final breaths. Hugo appears to be finished at first glance. The doctor's wife then arrives. Who tells Aletta to cut Hugo's head off? Because his head will be used to alter his body. We'll also turn him into a robot. Because the doctor's wife had transformed into a lady. And she wanted to do it so that Hugo could come back to life. Aletta accomplishes the same thing here. She dissects Hugo's head and parades it in front of everyone. Hugo's head is later taken to the doctor by it. After Hugo's operation, the doctor fixes another body with Hugo's head. As a result, Hugo has been resurrected. Hugo and Aletta are overjoyed since Hugo now has the same robotic body as Aletta. The doctor informs Aletta that Vector defrauds everyone. Because after defrauding you with a big sum of money, he promises to send you to Sky City. Even no human would spend the money to visit Sky City. No one is allowed to visit Sky City. Only residents of Sky City are allowed to visit and live there, and the race's victor will be able to travel to the Sky City from this world. Otherwise, everyone will be dead. My wife and I were both born in the Sky City, the doctor adds to Aletta. And we had come here for our daughter's treatment. They were entrapped here after that. Aletta becomes enraged when she hears it. She then departs to assassinate Vector. Aletta goes straight to the plant, where she is attacked by Vector's machines. However, Aletta now has a powerful and robotic body. As a result, Aletta kept killing everyone one by one. Aletta rushes to Vector to put an end to him, destroying all machines and robots in the process. However, the Vector robot emerges there. While attacking Aletta, it injures her. She then collapses. Then Aletta resurrects a recollection from the past. As a result, its memory, which had previously been lost, has been resurrected. Aletta recalls being a warrior who fought in World War II. Around 300 years ago, this was the case. However, all of Aletta's friends and comrades perished in that war. However, Aletta was also tossed away, severely injuring her. Aletta repairs its memories here, believing it was done by the proprietor of Sky City. He had also terminated all of Aletta's companions. Aletta recalls, my objective is to assassinate the owner of Sky City. Aletta becomes sentimental as a result of these facts. That it had lost all of its friends. It also starts to be hostile. The robot then strikes Aletta. And Aletta attacks the robot with its sword, dismembering it. At the same time, Aletta uses its blade to attack Vector. And Vector is no longer alive. When Aletta receives a doctor's call, she learns that Hugo is making his way to Sky City, scaling those pipes. Then Aletta comes up behind him, chasing him. It tells him that he does not need to visit the Sky City. Because there isn't anything to gain. Living in this world, we will live our lives. Hugo agrees when he hears Aletta. However, the proprietor of the Sky City was looking down on it. As a result, he uses his weapon to assault them. As a result, Hugo's entire body is dismembered. Aletta is holding his hand at the same moment. However, Aletta unintentionally loses her grip on Hugo. As a result, he plummets from a considerable height. Aletta is heartbroken by the loss of Hugo. She then begins to cry. Now Aletta makes a decision. Going to Sky City will put an end to the city's owner. Because it was seeking retribution for Hugo's death. It can be observed that Aletta won the race as well. It also raises its sword to the Sky City. I am going to kill and avenge you. It says to the owner of Sky City. Behold. I'm going to make you the worst, and I'm not going to let you live. This sequence also serves as the conclusion of the film. So, guys, how do you like this video today? Please subscribe and share if you want to see more videos like that. Let me know which one you want to hear in the next video by telling me in the comments section.